Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Washing Dishes where we're going to make some absolutely wonderful summer staples. I've got some canned chicken and canned tuna and some veggies, and we're going to turn these into some really delicious tuna salad and chicken salad, and I hope you'll stay with us and see what turns out. I've also got a sneaky little sandwich at the end too. Stick around. These are both going to be mayo-based salads. So first things first, I'm just going to whip up some quick mayo in my food processor, a couple of whole eggs, some mustard, some salt, some pepper, and then just oil until it emulsifies. I'm just going straight vegetable oil, nice and simple, nice and easy. And we're just going to spin that and stream in the oil until we've got mayonnaise. There we go. About a pint of mayo. That'll last in the fridge for, I don't know, a few weeks, but we're going to use probably 12 ounces, 10 to 12 ounces of it. So, there we go. And now for a quick veg prep montage. We've got brunoise shallots for the tuna salad. We've got brunoise celery for both the tuna and the chicken salad. And then we've got some small dice apples for the chicken salad. Also going to rough chop and then fine chop some herbs, sage and parsley. Sage and parsley for the chicken salad, and then we're going to use some chives for the tuna salad. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. Had to stop the recording, focus, and then do it again. Anyway, yeah, so this is just the veg prep, and then we'll get on to actually mixing things together and having some beautiful salads. So this is just plain old canned tuna. Get high quality canned tuna. It'll make it taste better. But yeah, we're just gonna add the shallots, the celery, and then pop in some salt, some pepper, and then herbs and mayo, and bingo bango. You can see I forgot to do the chives, so we're doing that real quick, and then we'll finish mixing it up. Again, I cannot stress how handy this technique is. Roll it up, and it just keeps everything from going all over the place. It's a really useful technique. Insert Wilhelm scream in 3, 2, 1. Just kidding. I would never shout into your ears like that. It would be incredibly rude. Anyway, yep. So we're just mixing this all together. Try to mix it so that it breaks up the chunks of tuna. You want a nice, not like totally uniform because you've got the chunks of veggies. But you want like a nice consistent consistency. Yeah, I said it. Anyway. So that's our beautiful tuna salad. Season it up. You can do a zillion different versions of this, right? You could use all sorts of different veggies. You could add hard-boiled egg. You could add all kinds of different seasonings. I've done like Asian-style tuna salads with soy sauce and gochujang. There's the possibilities are endless, and that's one of the things I generally really do try to make sure that everyone understands is that cooking is something that it's a destination with a lot of roads leading to it, and it's your food. Cook the food that tastes the way you want it to taste. I cook the food that tastes the way I want it to taste, and then people pay me to cook food that tastes the way they want it to taste. But if you're cooking for yourself, just make it taste good. You know what tastes good. At least, you know what tastes good for you, right? But yeah, this tastes good for me. I'm going to add a little bit more seasonings, and then we're going to call this and move on to the chicken salad. And by add more seasonings, I mean it needs a little bit more salt and pepper. No big deal. So yeah, I'm just going to add a little more salt, a little more pepper, some lemon juice and lemon zest, and then we'll call it good. And then chicken salading is the same as tuna salading. You just add the stuff to the bowl, mix it up, easy peasy, you've got some chicken salad. I'm honestly, I'm not spending a whole bunch of time on the technique of combining things, because the technique to combine these is just mix them together. These, like I was saying when we were doing the tuna salad, the ratios here, how much veggies, how much meat, how much mayonnaise, the seasonings, even the very ingredients that you select are really just a matter of personal preference. It's really common for chicken salads to have like grapes or some sort of dried fruit or like nuts or stuff. Like, I don't like dried fruit, so I didn't put it in. I don't like grapes that much, so I didn't put them in. I forgot to buy walnuts at the grocery store when I was doing the shopping for this video, so I didn't put them in. I still ended up with some absolutely delicious chicken salad. And I'm like, you can see, I'm kind of winging my recipe as I do this. Like, I'm walking off camera to grab things out of my pantry. I'm not measuring. I'm just kind of adding some, mixing it up, tasting it, adding some, mixing it up, tasting it. The real technique to learn here is adding little by little and tasting as you go. So I get all of the things that I want in small quantities into the bowl, in amounts that I think are going to work based on my experience. And yeah, I do. I have a lot of experience, and maybe you don't have a lot of experience, but the only way to get experience is by doing it. And as they say in Adventure Time, sucking at something is the first step to getting kind of good at it. So, as you're learning how to do this, don't add all of the mayonnaise or all of the herbs or all of the salt and pepper all at once. Add most of it, mix it up, give it a chance for those flavors to come together, and then taste it. And if you need to add a little bit more seasoning or a little bit more mayo because it's too dry, or a little bit more honey because it's not sweet enough, then add it. It's, like I said before, it's your food. You should make it taste the way you want it to taste. And this, again, pretty much tastes the way I want it to taste. Needs a little bit more mayo, or needs a little bit more mustard? No problem. A little more salt and pepper. Things almost always need a little more salt and pepper than I expect them to. That's just how it is. The herbs aren't overpowering, so we're going to throw that all in. And then, a little more, like I said, a little more honey because it wasn't as sweet as I wanted it. That's all. It's not that bad. It's not that bad because what I mean by it's not that bad is like it's not difficult. It's just, it's a process. You got to trust the process. You go a little bit at a time, and as you do it more and as you do it again and again and again, you start to know in advance exactly how much stuff you're going to need, and you can always add, you can never subtract. So, add it a little at a time, taste it. I feel like I'm harping on this, but it's such an important thing. Just, trust your taste, trust your palate, you'll get the hang of things, and don't be afraid to experiment. Anyway, I'm taking this to sword fighting practice on Sunday, so it's going in a Tupperware in a fridge. The salads are probably only good in the fridge for like a week or so, maybe 7, maybe 10 days. There's a lot of surface area. There's just a lot of stuff in them that can go bad. So yeah, eat them within a week and you should be just fine. All right, so now we get to the real reason I wanted to make tuna salad, and that is because I want to make one of my absolute all-time S-tier favorite sandwiches, and that is a tuna melt. I'm getting some butter melted in the pan to start. You can see on the sheet tray to my right, I've got a couple slices of bread, some of my tuna salad, some mayo, and some Swiss cheese, because those are the quote-unquote right ingredients for a tuna melt. Again, as I keep saying, make food that you like the taste of. I like this recipe for a tuna melt. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to spread some mayo on the outside of the bread, and then I'm going to toast the bread, like, as we go. I'm basically building the sandwich in the pan as we cook it, and you'll see how that goes in a sec. And we're just going to cook it until the cheese is melty and the bread is deliciously golden brown and toasted, and it's warmed through. Yep. So here's a quick montage of that. All right, this looks absolutely amazing. It's very hot. Let's get it off the sizzle platter and onto the cutting board. And let's go ahead and get into this. Don't use a chef's knife. Get a better view and use a different knife. All right, that's better. One of these days I will actually learn how to be a YouTuber, I swear. Anyway, let's check it out. There we go. Look, your cheese in a cross section, you can cheat it to make it look like pretty with a cheese stretch, but I didn't. Honestly, I think this looks pretty enough anyway. So let's go ahead and give it a quick taste. Yeah, like, all right, it's out of focus, but like, this is a good looking sandwich. I would be happy to get this sandwich. I made this sandwich. Obviously, I'm happy about it. Let's give it a taste. We can go over again how this is one of my all-time favorite sandwiches in the world. Yeah, this is spectacular. The bread is crispy, the cheese is gooey, the tuna salad is exactly the way I like it. Spoilers, I ate the rest of the sandwich after I finished cleaning up from shooting. Can't go wrong. It's, like I said, it's one of my absolute favorite sandwiches. I'm taking the chicken salad to some friends, and I will see you on the next episode of Wash and Dishes. Hey, and if you liked what you just saw, catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/washinthewind, on Twitter at washinthewind, on Instagram at washinthewind, but without the E because of the character limit. Or I have a Patreon. I've been doing this for about a year. I've got dozens of videos up. You should check some of those out. I'll throw a couple of those up on screen for you to choose from. Just, whatever YouTube thinks you might like. But yeah, thanks a ton for watching. If you've made it this far, thanks for hanging out till the end screen. Have a wonderful rest of your time zone, and I'll catch you on the next episode.